Hi, I am Muzammil Rawjani from TechnBrains, and today we have Alan with us. He is the CEO of Nationwide Payment System. Let's start the interview.
We get customers because they find us on LinkedIn. I have a podcast called B2B Vault. We do a lot of blog posts, so a lot of it is from that. And I go out and talk to like startup, groups and things like that. So we're like the consultant who goes and does the homework for you. So you don't have to go call 20 companies and figure out that you don't know you're not going to find the right thing. We have the direct connections with the companies who have the setup, so you can set up your software. Everybody wants to be like the next Stripe. And what we did is Stripe is what you call a payfac, and what we developed is what we call a hybrid payfac program. And in the hybrid payfac program, you don't have to go out and spend $1 million a year to be a payfac and be you can be a hybrid payfac and be under one of the payfacs that we work with. So we work with a group of payfacs, and like I said, they're not all they're not all equal, right? One is good for this, one is good for that, one is good for, you know what I'm saying? They're not all good for the same thing. Well, most of the companies that come to us, they're whoever owns it is usually a software developer. They come with their software and we bring the payments piece. And we bring but we bring it all because we already develop like the boarding piece. So somebody, the same way you apply for Stripe, someone's going to be able to apply for your software. Well, I think what we're going to see is a more verticalized experience when it comes to software. So a lot of software developers are out there now developing software specifically so they can add payments to that software. So we're working with a company, that's doing gym software. We're working with 3 companies with some kind of CRM and invoicing. So I think we're just going to see, and they're verticalized. Like one of the CRMs is aimed at attorneys, one is aimed at service companies like plumbing, one is aimed at towing. So I think we're going to see a very big verticalized approach to software, and those software companies need to add payments. And Stripe is not for everybody, so we want to offer an alternative to Stripe, and we also going to pay a lot more revenue out to the software company who's bringing in clients, right? And that's going to make their company worth more money. When you look at companies that have done that, you have like one of the biggest payfacs in the private industry is Rent Cafe, which started off as another name, and they connected to all these apartment complexes where people are paying their rent, right? And that company is added payments several years ago, became their own payfac. They're processing over $1 billion of payments a month, right? $1 billion a month. Their company's worth 100 times what it was worth before. But like a lot of companies don't realize, like a Toast, they have 80,000 plus clients, but their payroll is too much. A SaaS company could be very successful if they had 500, 1,000, 2,000 clients, right? Penetrate a small section of the market, and that could be a multi-million dollar business. And one of the things I think we're going to see is that as those companies become successful and they get to where, we have 1,000 clients or 2,000 clients, the processors they work with, I think, are going to start to buy some of those companies. But that's going to take time because the people, some companies come out and do this and they get 10 clients and then everything stops, so. I don't think so. I think cryptocurrency, unless the United States changes the tax situation, that's going to be a big problem. And I don't see central digital currency or a central bank being established by the federal government, because the federal government is not organized enough. But um, their approach to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, they pretty much shut down anybody from introducing a new coin. They can't decide who's going to govern cryptocurrency, the SEC or the banks. And you know, the main problem is the taxes. So when people exchange Bitcoin and you haven't owned it for a year, there's a 38% tax on that. So it doesn't make sense for you to go buy something for $100 or $1,000, and then I want to convert that to fiat because somebody paid me with coin. I need to convert it to fiat, or I spend it again, and you haven't owned it for a year. There's a 38% tax. So that the tax structure has to completely change to the way it is with the way it is. It has to change, because you can't use Bitcoin the way they're using it in Europe and in Asia and other countries. And stable coin, that doesn't make sense, because a dollar is not worth a dollar, because once you send it, there's a 38% tax on it. So, and they're taxing the person. So you're selling it, then the person's receiving it. Everybody's getting taxed. It doesn't make any sense, and that's why the price of crypto is, pretty much flattened out to where it is right now. I mean, in Europe, a lot of people use it for cross border, because it's a lot easier to, pay somebody country to country using Bitcoin or using Ethereum, and pay back and forth. Ethereum's a little crazy because there's too many gas fees with Ethereum. But the thing is that with, paying cross border, but I don't think we're going to see a big change in anything to do with Bitcoin until the government changes their stance on the tax situation. So we have, so basically from a development standpoint, what we do is everything is customized to the customer. So what we do is we set up a meeting, because we don't want to treat every software the same, like, oh, it's all the same, like Stripe does. It's all one thing. That's it. With us, what we do is we take a custom approach. So we find out, what are your needs? Is it going to be card present, not card present, invoicing? What's the product or service? And then we're going to match you up with the right company. And then we set you up with a sandbox so you can see it. And our development tools, everybody that's doing software payments to, software, adding payments to software, our development tools are very similar to Stripe, so it's easy for everybody to work with. So it makes it easy to do. And then as far as chargebacks go, we have different products that we use. So it just depends on the ticket size, what type of merchant it is. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you have a client and it's a SaaS software and it's a monthly fee. We basically set up RDR, which is advance warning that somebody wants to do a chargeback. That way the merchant can issue a refund and not have so many chargebacks. If you're selling physical items, then you kind of have to see, like, what's the price of the physical items. If it's under $35, maybe you just want to issue refunds and not have chargebacks. If it's for larger physical items, then you can do different things to fight the chargeback. And then we also work with the clients so they know how to properly dispute a chargeback, and and send in the documentation that's needed. So everything is customized. We do everything we call nationwide payment systems, customized payment processing, because you can't just take a square peg and stick it in a round hole. And too many people try to do that. And we switched quite a few people who were using Stripe onto our systems because they're more flexible and more customizable to what they need. And and then from a chargeback standpoint, it's a lot different when you have your own merchant account versus using, Stripe, Square, PayPal, where they're the merchant, right? in our scenario, you are the merchant, and so you have control of what's going on with the chargeback. So when you do get a chargeback, you can decide how you're going to do it. You know how you're going to do that and handle that. And then we have different platforms that like right now we're working with a new company, and they're actually integrating like early warning software into WooCommerce and into some other gateways, which is going to help merchants identify fraudulent transactions. For bigger merchants, we have other products that already exist, but they're expensive. But it's good for larger merchants, and that can help reduce fraud and things like that. So we're always working on ways to deal with it.
We can receive any type of payment like from credit card, debit card, ACH, and any kind of payment through the
Yep,
merchant,
yep. We
right?
work with credit card, debit card, ACH, all of that.
Amex and
Yeah,
Discover,
Amex, Discover,
all
Visa, Mastercard, everything, whatever payments you want to do. But we don't try to, we don't try to just stick a square peg in a round hole. We want to customize a solution. The same thing. Like we're doing one guy with a gym software and another guy with auto repair. The auto repair wants a physical machine. The gym is going to work through an app on the phone. They want the auto repair doesn't need ACH. The gym needs ACH. So two different types of things. And then like for instance, for the auto repair vertical, we have a buy now, pay later solution and a financing solution that they can also integrate into their software, and that can help them make more sales. But it's like I said, there's a lot of solutions coming out now that are very vertical focused. Very focused in a particular vertical, and I think we're going to see more and more of that in the next 5 years.